Hey friends, Amanda with the Happy Homestead, and I'm in a slightly different part of the house today. This is our foyer. It's our front door. There is crap everywhere because our house is in a little bit of disarray. Lots going on. You can see the pink hue here. Those are all my seedlings that I've started. They're under grow lights right now in my office. But the reason I'm kicking this video off in this way is because that box just got delivered and I need to assemble it. So something really exciting is happening here on the homestead, in our home, for our homestead in 2023. And this is the first step. I'm not going to give anything away just yet, but I've got to get this unboxed and assembled pronto. All right, so this thing is not getting put together anytime fast. So I say pronto because I need to do it. But this thing, first of all, is like wrapped in the most heaviest duty tape possible. So I'm gonna take some time, unbox this, start to put it together, and I'll bring you back once we get closer to a finished product. Can't do this with you here. All right, it is finally put together. Yes, it is the next day because I had to pause. I needed my husband's help finding the right tool to get the casters on. But it is a stainless steel table. It has a shelf on the bottom underneath this part. It is on casters that lock, so I can wheel it around as necessary. All right, so continuing on in this exciting saga for our homestead, I'm in the garage. It's messy, bear with me. But the delivery has just come. Do you see what that says? This is a Harvest Right freeze dryer. I am so excited. I have been wanting a freeze dryer for a few years now, and the opportunity finally came about, and so we jumped on it. There's two boxes here. The bottom box is the actual freeze dryer. We got a medium freeze dryer. I think I got the white color. And then this box is all of the accessories. So trays, I think I got two sets of trays. So, some of the silicone mats to go underneath, and then everything else like the pump that it comes with, and etc. So yeah, so this puppy is gonna get unboxed and put into the house. Maybe not tonight, hopefully soon though, and I'll be sure to start filming again once that's done. But wanted to show you literally within minutes this was delivered, and I'm so excited. It's set up in all of its glory. Our Harvest Right freeze dryer is finally set up. I have had this now, so when you saw me get it delivered, let's back up. I ordered it in mid-February. It got delivered literally 4 weeks later, exactly 4 weeks later, in mid-March. We are now in the very beginning portion of April, and so I've had it, I've been playing with it for about 2.5 weeks straight. And so I didn't film my first batch or really the setup because honestly, you can find videos on that. I wanted to wait until I had a few batches under my belt and really had something of value to bring to you. So number one, I love it. I love it. I'm so glad I took the opportunity that we had to purchase this machine. Now, we are in our makeshift pantry, our formal dining room. That's our front door right there. So you can imagine when people have come over in the last couple of weeks and they look over, and I would say 2 out of 3 people both said, "Is that a washing machine?" I thought it was like a little washing machine. So it's no small appliance by any means. But it was a process, right, to get this set up. And the first batch you do is pieces of bread. And so I had some sourdough bread that I had made. It was starting to go stale. And that's really just about kind of working the kinks out with the first batch, making sure everything works correctly, and then you throw that bread away. So what I have done are strawberries, blackberries, yogurt, like little yogurt cubes as a snack, cereal bars, guacamole, and bananas. So I've done quite a few things so far, and we're gonna run a batch of pineapple today. So I wanted to kind of bring you along for that. So the machine just kind of stays in this state until you're ready to use it. The screen here is pretty self-explanatory. I haven't had any questions yet. What I do find is that the machine is loud. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that, it's loud. And for the first couple of days, I'm pretty sure my husband wanted to leave the house whenever he walked in the house, because he kept joking that it was like a jet engine, and he'd be upstairs and he'd come downstairs and be like, "I'm going to the airport," because it was so loud in here, and it is loud. Over time though, you get used to it. And so I'm trying to be very aware of when I'm running it and when I'm not. But I find that it's running for a minimum of 24 hours. And in some cases, it was up to like 48 hours. I think that was the guacamole. That went for longer because I just wanted to make sure that was really dry. But when it's running for that long, this was a misconception on my part. There's 3 cycles. There's the freezing cycle to make sure everything is frozen. And then there's the vacuum cycle to suck out the moisture. And then there's the dry cycle to really dry it all out. And the dry cycle is what takes the most. I have a log, a notebook of everything that I've done so far, and I've written down how long was the freeze cycle, how long was the vacuum cycle, and the dry. And the freeze, I've only ever put things in pre-frozen, right? So I put things on the trays, and then the trays are in my freezer, and then I put them in here. And that just cuts down on some of the time. My freezers are running anyway, so why would I not take advantage of that and not have to run this more than it has to be? So the freezing time is anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, because it brings it down to almost a negative temperature, negative Fahrenheit temperature. And then the dry cycle is anywhere from 1 to 2 hours maybe. Excuse me, the vacuum. The vacuum cycle is 1 to 2 hours, and then the drying, that is the longest portion. But what I like is that after, say, 12 hours of drying, I can open it. There's a process to do that, but I can open it and check everything and then set it longer if I need to. I will be doing more Harvest Right videos in time, and I can answer more questions as they come to my mind and maybe as you have them. But let's start this up and get some pineapples going. So I know you can't really see the screen here, but it just says start, and that is what I'm gonna do. And it's basically cooling the vacuum chamber. So it's telling me to wait a minimum of 15 minutes before I load the trays in. Perfectly fine by me, because right now it's at 77 degrees, which is semi-room temperature. So it's got to get to about a freezing temperature before I load my trays in. Let's go get the pineapple. So in our last Azure standard order, I purchased 5 pounds of organic pineapple chunks. And now that I'm looking at this, I think I can get some other fruit in here, because this is probably not enough for 4 trays. Okay, I went and got 5 pounds of organic peach slices as well. So it was just so great to order these from Azure because, number one, they're pre-frozen. Number 2, they're organic. And number 3, they're already sliced and chopped. Like, win-win. Yeah, so we are gonna freeze dry peaches and pineapple today. So I have the medium freeze dryer. It comes with 4 trays, as you can see here. I did purchase the silicone mats as well. Don't want to overload your trays. Take some of that out. You want to have some space between everything as much as possible. I have heard that pineapples and peaches are amazing. It's been cooling for about 27 minutes and it got down to 32 degrees. So I'm gonna load my trays in. I'm just making sure this black seal is protruded enough. There's nothing there blocking it that could hinder a seal. And then locking the door in place. And I should basically see kind of almost what looks like a suction ring right here. As long as I see contact from the rubber ring to the glass, I know we've got a good closure. And now I've got to close the drain valve, which then is allowing the pressure and vacuum to be built up when the time comes. I hit continue. We begin the freezing process, and it has a countdown timer. Again, I know you can't see it, but it has a countdown timer, so I know how long it's freezing at. It's currently at 27 degrees. It's probably gonna go for between 2 and 3 hours, and it gets down to anywhere between 0 to -10. So I'm in the kitchen now, and I wanna see if you can hear that. You can probably hear a light hum, right, of some kind of background noise. And that's basically what we will hear for the next 24 to 36 hours. I will check it, and when I'm sure it's done, we'll come back and I'll show you the finished product and let you know how long everything took. Also, I didn't mention, we have the Premier Oil Pump, which means you change your oil every 20 to 25 batches. This is only my number 7 batch. This is another reason why I keep track of everything in a journal, just to make sure I'm really staying on top of that. So I haven't had to do anything with the oil yet. I just check it, make sure the level looks good before I start anything. So anyway, set it and forget it, and we'll come back when everything's done. Good morning. It is 8 a.m. and it's about 38, 39 hours later from when I put the pineapple and the peaches in. So it froze for 3 hours. It vacuumed for about an hour, maybe a little bit less than an hour. That process was pretty quick. And then it dried for 34 hours. Now, after about 10 or 11 hours of drying, I actually stopped the machine, pulled everything out, and I flipped it, right? So it was kind of like this. And then I actually flipped everything. And when I did that, I could feel some cold spots, right, from still the frozen spot. So if you feel cold spots, it's not totally dry. So at that 8 to 10 hour mark, right, took everything out, flipped it, and then I put it back in to dry for another 24 hours, and it is fully dry. So you can see, well, first of all, you see these bubbles. This is like the pineapple was kind of liquidy, so this is some of the pineapple juice that has freeze dried as well. But the way you know, really, it should always be a little warm. It should never feel cold or wet. And certainly when you break it, I mean, it like crumbles. It should not have any moisture in it. So we've got 3 trays of pineapple here. This tray, you know, looks a little bit more like actual pineapple chunks, whereas this one really did have a lot more moisture. And then the peaches look pretty good too. They, I think, dried pretty quick. And so the peaches kind of snap as well. So now the true test.
I'm gonna try one too.
My daughter's already been sneaking it.
It's so good.
Pineapple is good.
I haven't tried the peach yet. Have you?
I haven't. The pineapple actually tastes almost like candy.
Yeah. It tastes just.
It gets like kind of gummy in your teeth and your mouth. It does. It tastes like candy. Okay. Wanna try a peach?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
These are so good.
The peach like melts in your mouth.
I like the strawberries.
Mmm.
I think I like these better.
Yeah, these are a little chewier. These are more crunchy. Okay, so now storage. Typically, when you have freeze-dried items, right, the horrible thing that could happen to them is they come into contact with any type of moisture, condensation, right, and just anywhere like in a damp environment. And so it's best to store them in Mylar bags. So people say that the freeze-dried food can last up to 25 years. That's only if stored properly. Mylar bags with an oxygen absorber and then sealed with like a vacuum sealer, but not vacuumed. That helps it last that long. Something like this, I'm not putting these in Mylar bags. Everything I've done so far, well, none of them, I didn't vacuum seal or Mylar bag any of them, just because I know we were gonna eat through them pretty quick. So at some point I'll make meals, right? Like leftovers from either chili or beef stew, do that and put those in some Mylar bags, because then we can like take those camping. But honestly, all of this, I'm just gonna put in a Ziploc bag because I know it's gonna get eaten within the next few days. I just know. So I'm just gonna put everything in here right now. But I have a lot of my items in glass jars with an oxygen absorber. So we're gonna get everything in. So as we close out the video, I thought I'd show you everything I've done. So pineapple peaches we just did together. I have 2 of these really big gallon jars of guacamole. This, and then there's the oxygen absorber. I am so excited about this.
Can I try?
You want to try one?
Yeah.
I'll just give you a little piece.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try a little piece. I haven't actually tried it yet.
Me either.
Oh, it's good. Just wasn't ready for guacamole at 8 a.m. You like it?
Yeah. This is not right now.
It's not right now.
Have another piece.
Yeah. The tomato was good.
The little one.
I basically bought a bunch of avocados. They were on sale for 50 cents each. And then I think I had a coupon that made them 35 cents each. So bought a lot of avocados, cilantro, cherry tomatoes, jalapenos, lime, added some seasoning like cumin and coriander. Literally just made a lot of guacamole and then froze it on my trays and then froze dry it. So I think when I rehydrate it, I'll probably rehydrate it with some lime juice to add that lime flavor as it's rehydrated. These are the blackberries. I have 2 of these jars. These are good. I wouldn't say they have a whole lot of flavor though. You want to try them? I don't know that I do the blackberries again, because also it has, still has all the seeds in it like a blackberry would. These are my kids' favorite so far, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. I'm gonna do a video on these. But these are cereal bars. It's basically those Heritage O's that I got in my Azure order with some yogurt and banana blended together and then poured over it as if it were like a milk and cereal, and then put in the freeze dryer in like silicone bar molds. They are delicious. And then strawberries, we had 2 of these jars. We're down to 1. This has been the biggest hit so far. These are very good. They're crunchy.
I would try them, but I'm on my cereal bars still.
They're sweet. These are probably the top winner. And then these are similar to the cereal bars, kind of yogurt cubes. I have like these little cube silicone molds, and I did yogurt, plain low-fat yogurt, and I added in some homemade jam. I thought it was a great way to sweeten it without actually adding anything unnecessarily bad. And so it's just yogurt and homemade jam, and then blended together in the blender and then put into the molds and freeze dried. These are a big hit as well, and I can think of like the endless opportunities with snacks for the kids. And last but not least, celery. The celery was so fast, so easy, and it's actually quite good just like this. It's gonna be perfect for soups and stews. Thanks for joining today on our freeze drying journey. So excited to have this tool as another way to preserve our food, and I can't wait to show you everything that we do, how it turns out. And if you're interested in a Harvest Right freeze dryer, click the link below and learn more all about it. So until next time, stay healthy, stay well. Bye-bye.